Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you may be watching. This is Christine at Christine is Crocheting, and today is Finished Object Friday. And this is May, so this is number 5. And as you can see, I've got some items here. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start with this one that's right in front that you don't see. So we have hat and scarf sets, and then I've got something else to share with you as well. Sorry, I'm looking right at them. It's the prayer squares. So let's start off with the hat and scarf sets. I do not remember what it was that I used for the hat. This was the last one. I did a couple of other ones last time, and I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember what it was called, but it was, I love this yarn. I'm pretty sure. Nope, it was not. Yeah, I think it was I love this yarn because I used it for some of the prayer squares. It was just little extra that I had left. So there is the hat, and with that hat I used Craft Smart Value Neon, and it is in the color neon pink alert. Which you could have, I'm sure that if you were looking at the hat you saw that as well. And what I did for this is I used an H hook, and I just did double crochet and chain one, double crochet, chain one, double crochet, chain one. That's all I did. And so it may have a name, but it's just what I did. So it wasn't a stitch that I used from anybody. Sorry, I decided I wanted to put this back in the hat. It works so nicely when they're in the hats like that. All right, so there's that. Any of the stitches or anything, as you know, I always put them in the description box, so you'll have them. So we've got that one, and then the next 2 hats, because I'm working on the 3rd one from this, but the hats are, this is all I have left out of the skein, and it is I Love This Yarn in Herb Garden, or for some of you in different countries, Herb Garden. Anyway, it is, like I said, I love this yarn, and it's a 4-weight. They're all 4 weights that I've used on these. And so for the hats, all the hats are the Easy Blue Beanie, and then I'm going to do a front post and back post. So even though it's the Easy Blue Beanie tutorial, I have made it my own by adding something different to the rim. But I always still do put that tutorial on there. And there you have it. So the 2 hats, there's this hat, and then for this particular one, the scarf, I used I Love This Yarn, excuse me, in the color turquoise. I used an H hook. I don't know why I used an H hook for this, but I did. Excuse me. So sorry about that. And this is the triple crochet cluster V-stitch. And I will have that tutorial linked in the description box. But I thought it was really pretty. Very pretty. Is it the right way? Right way. Right way. Anyway, really pretty. And it's got a little bit of texture, not a lot, but a little bit. I thought that was really nice. It almost reminds me of like peacock. And then goes with the turquoise, like that. All right, so that is that hat and scarf set. I know y'all probably get tired of them, but they really do go for a good cause. So our area is inundated with homeless, and in the wintertime, you know that they need them. So I'm not really apologizing, but I know it gets boring of me doing these, but that's what I'm crocheting, so that's what you're seeing. Anyway, all right. So this next hat there, and I really like this color. It's very pretty. The scarf for this one is in the color Glacier. And again, I love this yarn, but it is such a pretty color. Such a pretty color. And I did the double crochet trio stitch with a J hook. So there's that pattern there. Yep. And that is a pattern I've done before. Now the V-stitch one, the triple crochet V-stitch, that is the first time I think that I've used that stitch. So, sorry, I think I just hit I just touched the tripod, I'm sorry. All right, and so then, having all sorts of trouble, I'm sorry. It's a Friday afternoon, what can I say? All right, so the next 3 hats are all with Big Twist Value in the colorway Candy Bowl. That's this. Very apropos. And so this is all I have left after doing the 3 hats that are over here. And so another pink alert. The first hat is this one. And then I also used Big Twist Value for the scarf. And the color is called Medium Rose. And this is the Open Oyster Shell Stitch. Wow, say that fast more than once. I couldn't even say it one time. Oyster Shell Stitch. I really do like this stitch. It's got some texture to it, but it's just so pretty. It's really a pretty one. I've used it a few times. I've made a couple blankets. I have my blanket over there. It's a purple and cream. It's kind of a variegated one. I use that when I'm working. Anyway, so there's that. And I used a J hook for actually the hat and the scarf, which usually I use a J hook, so I'm not sure. Well, I used a H hook on 2 of those scarves that I showed a little bit ago. I know one is because I was making the prayer squares, and then I just did the scarf. So I know that is why that was, but I'm not sure about the other one. And then here is the second hat of that candy dish. And then I used Big Twist Value again for the scarf. I do try and do that though. If I'm using a certain yarn for the hat, I will try and do coordinating scarf with the same type of yarn. Sometimes I don't, but most of the time I do, because they just, you know, go together. And when you're, especially if you're doing the rim a different color on the brim, the rim, it just works better when they're the same. My personal opinion. So this is the single crochet ribbed cluster stitch. Cluster. That is a word that I'm having difficulty with today. Anyway, I like this one because it definitely has texture to it. And even though it's single, it works up really fast. It's a really nice one. I do like that. There's that. And then the last of the hat and scarf sets is this one, last hat. And again, with the big twist value for the scarf as well. And this is in the color, they're calling it coral. I would say tangerine, but they're calling it coral, which that's completely fine, whatever they want to do. But what I did for this one, this is the primrose stitch, and I've done this stitch before. I've done this stitch quite a few times before, so anyway, I like this stitch too. It's nice. So that is it for the hat and scarf sets. Put them away. And then, so then when I was in Oregon last weekend, I really just took, bits and pieces and then just made prayer squares. And so I just have, like here's three of them in this. And then we've got some in this, and then we've got this one, that one, and then we've got a few in this color. This is that blush that I used for something, I think a hat and scarf set. And then here's another one. You can't see the baubles all that well. Sometimes the baubles worked for me and sometimes they didn't really, but maybe it goes this, no, I don't think so. Anyway, that, and then we've got a couple different green ones here. Green one there. There's this green one. And I did a couple of different edgings. I did the crab stitch or the reverse single crochet, I think is what they call it, on some of them. And then some of them I just did around with a single crochet. Ooh, you can't even see I don't think you can see it very well, but it's there, the little baubles. And then here's a few more. And then I did another one of those. And then here are a few more. All right, anyway, so I did all those and then I did that hat and did a hat with, I think it was the one that had this. And started on the scarf. Anyway, so I did those this weekend. And these, went through all that and then didn't tell you about them. So these are prayer squares and they're going to be mailed. I guess I should do that tomorrow. Mailed to Rose at Rose Likes Crochet. This year, the Generous Crafter, and I'll link all that stuff below. She is gathering donations for them, and then they actually donate, spread out the donations to a bunch of different charities and hospitals and all sorts of things. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing with that. I've got goosebumps, sorry. think that's about it. Oh my goodness. Okay, there's somebody that I watch, and every time she yawns, whether it's in the morning or in the evening, or actually anytime I'm watching her when she's doing it, I always end up yawning. So apologies if I've made you yawn. It is contagious, apparently even over a video. You don't have to be in the same room with somebody for it to affect you. So if you're one that does that, then hi. Me too. Okay. All right. So that is it for May. Can you believe May is on the way out? So we are almost halfway through the year. Wow. Okay. Crazy. All right, everybody. Well, have a great day anytime that you're watching this. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I'm going to start a project this evening. And it's not a hat or a scarf. So there you go. I may have it done for the end of June. So we'll see how that goes. I don't get to, crochet as much as I would like to, but I will see what we can come up with. All right. Gotta go pick my yarn. Have a great one, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.